Hey guys, what is going on? I am Jack and this is Log Cabin Firewood. So what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys have been doing amazing. I'm doing pretty good. Today is all about this thing. We're going to fire up my Central Boiler 760 gasification wood boiler, or outdoor stove, or water stove, or whatever you choose to call this thing. I installed this in the fall of 2023, and last heating season was the first season that we used this thing. Now, I could have probably did a little bit better job washing the front of this thing. I have not done anything to the front. I did go through and clean the inside up though. And I think next year I'm gonna do a little bit better of a job cleaning this thing as well. This thing right here, you heat the creosote up on this, and it actually does a really good job, you know, getting the stuff off. There are a couple fans in this thing that help this thing breathe, and you got to go through and clean the elbows, make sure all the side air tubes are clean, which they are. I did have to replace my gasket around the bottom. I guess I scraped a little too hard this past winter, and you know, I just tore it up when I was cleaning this thing out. I noticed about a 4 or 5 inch piece that was just missing. I did use my blower, the Echo PB9010. I just opened up the front and the back of this thing and let her rip tater chip. It was actually pretty fun. I had to do it in a couple different goes because there was a pretty good amount of dust in this thing. So I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. I've seen a bunch of people say, you know, to get a good coal bed in this and to get this thing going and established a little bit quicker, just use a bag of charcoal and, you know, throw it in here and cover up the primary air tube. So we're going to do that and see how this works. I guess I could probably just throw this whole bag in here. So I'm going to open it up. So now that we've got our charcoal in there, I did put about another half bag in there. I just wanted enough to cover up the charge tube a little bit. We're going to come around to this side, turn on our fire start unit, and then we're going to hit ignition air. It's going to go through and check all of its primaries and secondaries, and then the fan kicks on. Well, the stove's been burning for 53 minutes now, and there's no smoke. My water temp is at 145 degrees, and we are still burning at the stove's maximum efficiency, which is 100%. And when I say efficiency, I don't mean that, you know, like the thing's 100% efficient. It's 100% at the most optimal burn that the stove can burn. So I'd still say that's 100% efficiency though. If you look up in here, I mean, there's nothing coming out of there. You just see a little bit of a heat signature. And let me show you this real quick. Let's see if I could do this real quick. So down here is where the magic happens. This is where the afterburners come into play. And this is where all the fire is at all times in this stove. These gasification units are known to gum up with creosote within the firebox or the loading area. Not the reaction chamber though, because there's never really a big fire up here. This whole unit up top gets pressurized and forces all the smoke and fire down into the reaction chamber, where I say the magic happens. But that's why, you know, up top they are prone to gumming up with creosote, because there's never really a big fire up there. One of the things that I have found, since my unit has a bypass handle, the 60 series does have the bypass handle. A lot of the earlier 50 series, 350, 550, 750, 950, they did not have the bypass. I know some of the later models of the 50 series did have the back cover added to them, where you could access the heat exchanger in the back of this. Some of the earlier 50 series, you had to access the reaction chamber, or not the reaction chamber. Some of the earlier 50 series, you had to climb inside of this firebox, take some bolts off to access your heat exchanger. That was that's a bear. I've seen a couple people off the trails outdoor. Mr. Ed has one of them. Mr. Ed, I don't mean it like that. But that was pretty cool. Off the Trails Outdoors has a 550, and his does not have the access panel, but TC Outdoors, Tony, he has a 350, and it does have the access panel on the back. So I guess as Central Boiler figured out these gasification units, they started adding more and more and more. And I did see that this year they do have an 865, I believe, which is pretty much the same BTU rating. It's still 245,000 BTUs out of this machine and the 865, but they've added a few other items to that 865 that they say it's easier to clean and maintain. I don't know. The EPA stuff on these stoves really, I don't know if you can see that smoke. I might have to replace a gasket on my reaction chamber, or tighten the door. We got a little bit of smoke coming out. But the gasification stoves, they can be a little finicky. You can burn some green wood, but they don't like it. These stoves, you can see all my split wood here. My wood is split, you know, just like normal, typical firewood. There are some all-nighters in here, but for the most part, this stuff is, you know, split small, hand-sized pieces. These gasification stoves prefer nice split wood. This is our second season running this, so, you know, I'm not like the most efficient outdoor wood stove burner, but I have figured out a little bit of how to run this thing the best, because I do have neighbors. I've got a house over here. You can see my neighbor's roof right there. That guy over there, when he fires up his 3 wood stoves, his smoke comes all the way over here and lights us up all day long. And then, you know, I've got houses all around. But not my nice gasification central boiler. This thing here just, I like to say it's the cat's meow. And it kind of is. But I'm gonna sit here, we're gonna keep this thing going. And I will let you know when it comes up to temp. And I might add some wood. That way it's good, because I gotta go do some running and playing. Right now it's 60 degrees. It's not very cold today. It's actually nice. But this week we're supposed to get down into the 30s at night and high of low 50s during the week, like daytime. So we have not turned one bit of heat on in the house yet. We wake up and we just put an extra pair of socks on, or snuggle. Cold house makes for good snuggle time. We have hit our set point at 185 degrees. You can see my primary has kicked off. My secondary is going to kick off here in a minute, and it's going to slowly start working itself down from 100%. Oh, it'll probably shut off probably about 80%, maybe less than that. But you can still see, there's no smoke. It's kind of choking itself off, doing its thing. And then I think I have this set up that every 20 minutes it'll give it a blast of air, just to keep the fire going in there. But it is now November 9th, and there is 6 full cord stacked up on this pad. We're going to see what we burn this year. Last year we started a little bit earlier. I think it was the middle of October. And we burned all this. We burned 6 cord and maybe a tractor bucket of something else. So it was 6 cord and 1 face cord. We'll call it 6.5 cord just for numbers. But yeah, I opened everything up in the house. My house and hot water are all hooked up to this now. No more electric bill, other than, the electric fan kicking on for the HVAC. And there we go, it shut down. So now it'll sit here and idle until the water drops below what do we got? We're 185 and 165, I believe. I believe at 165 this thing kicks on. I got a 20 degree differential. And that's what you want these to run on, because these things don't like to idle. That's why we waited this year to actually fire this thing up, because they do not like idling at all. They're creosote makers if you let it idle all the time. Got everything turned on in the house. I set the house to 66 degrees. I set my garage to 66, and the water is fire. I'm so excited to take showers that have never-ending hot water. When you work outside, that means a lot. But that's all I got, guys. A little short video about me firing up the boiler. Nothing special, nothing fancy. If there's any questions you guys have, leave them in the comments. I will make a video specifically for you if you have key items you want me to talk about. Pricing, how it works, how the water's connected to my house, how to clean it. I will do another thorough cleaning video on this. Let me know what you guys need, what you want, and we'll take care of you. Take care of each other. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.